was not in control of that situation at all.
I feel like my soul kind of just bit off a little bit more than it could chew. And granted, like, we're getting it done, we're getting through this. But from what I can gather and what I'm starting to understand, it's like souls have a little bit more of a detached perspective of things. They don't have that's why we are quite literally here then experiencing this physicality. But I think there's so many times like where there are intentions that we might have like from the soul perspective. And then as we start to then experience it, it's kind of just like, whoa. But like, I think that scene kind of just like depicts sometimes like the experiences or the height of which these experiences can be sometimes in the physical realm. And people will say stuff like, oh, it's your ego this, it's your ego that. My ego is quite literally who I am experiencing this physical reality. I think people need to understand like what the ego is. Your ego is like your sense of self and like how you identify within this physical reality. And we quite literally create it to then experience physical reality from individual perspectives. So if your ego is something that's been like wildly gone through like some crazy stuff, or your ego might be something that's literally traumatized or has gone through all these things, I'm not saying that there aren't different perspectives to have and that we can't like grow or embody different, but it's important to know that the ego is not like some crazy foreign thing. It's you, your experiences, and how you perceive yourself to be now as a result of those experiences. But the point I'm trying to make is shit can get messy in the physical realm. We can have sometimes a plan coming in from a soul perspective, and shit can just hit the fan. It can just period point blank like hit the hit the fan. And I did have a friend once say you have to kind of like trust your soul. But I mean, souls are not ineffable. I've come to learn that, they are still learning, they're still growing, they're still quite literally experiencing and understanding the reality, through our experiences too. It's like they expand through our experiences. If that were not the case, then we wouldn't have like the relationship where it's like, soul and then physical, connection to it. So sometimes I think it's important to give our souls grace. And we are our souls walking embodied. So I think it's important to give ourselves grace, because sometimes we might have incarnated in the physical realm underestimating just how many variables go into it. And there are times like where you can have something that could be intended, scripted, or even planned, but because of just the nature of how things tend to go and how free will is, things can just kind of derail. And it doesn't mean by any standard that things aren't going to go better. It just simply means that sometimes things might have shifted to not the way that we wanted to, as we initially intended. But hey, that's why wine and vodka exists. So peace and blessings, and I'll catch you guys later.